It's the Hip Hop School.
It's that time.
Past and present podcast.
It's that time.
All regions stand up.
On your feet.
North, South,
Everywhere.
East,
Where you at?
and West, Midwest.
You
Where you
know
at?
the rule.
Act a fool. You gotta be tight with your tool when you go to the Hip Hop School. Big wrong niggas crying all Primo, Fur, and Deja Rude, child. Get out your feelings, you get booed at the Hip Hop School. You know the rule. Act a fool. You gotta be tight with your tool when you go to the Hip Hop School. Nigga can't be mad cause you got swag and easy cool. Bitch, your motherfucking problem, knowledge rule at the Hip Hop School. You know the rule. Act a fool. You gotta be tight with your tool when you go to the Hip Hop School. Can't look like that, I'm into son, got artifacts. The truth is cruel, but that's just fuel at the Hip Hop School. Past and present.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Hip Hop School Past and Present podcast. I am the Asia, the assistant principal. You have Supreme Rod, the principal in the building, Heezy, the dean of all things hip hop, and down below me, we have none other than Dazzie Dee from the Lenchmob. How y'all doing tonight, fellas?
What's going on, everybody?
Oh man, all good. Ready for this show, man.
Yeah,
We rocking with a legend tonight.
Yeah.
Hey man, look, I try to do what I do when I can do it, brother.
That's what's up.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
We definitely thank you for coming on the show and blessing our platform with your presence.
Hey, you know
Can
what? I
I
appreciate
ask the
that.
first question?
Yeah, let's go. Let's get it.
Dazzie Dee, man. Who is Dazzie Dee? Where you from, brother? And well, give us a little bit about your background coming up, man. For those who don't know.
Man, LA, South Central finest. I've been in Compton though for the past 20 years, so a lot of people think I'm a Compton native, but now I'm actually a South Central cat, man. Grew up right around the corner from a few famous cats, Ice Cube, Sir Jinx, Dr. Dre, Battle Cat. You know, we all kind of yo-yo. We all kind of grew up in the same area, man. So we just grew up doing what we do, and eventually we all came together and made it happen.
That's what's up, man. So I know you've been rapping for a long time though. So when did you pick up the mic? And you know what I'm saying? Who was some of your influences? What made you pick up the mic?
Man, yeah, I think I've been doing it now a little over maybe 34, 35 years, man. You know, I think the very first rap record I heard probably was like Super Rhymes. I don't know if y'all hip to that record, man. My auntie had a record called Super Rhymes, man, and that kind of just turned me out, man. I listened to that rap. I would go over my auntie house, just listen to that record, man. Probably played that record about 200-300 times. I probably wore it out. And then, you know, once I got into that one, I did a little investigating, came up with Sugar Hill Gang and Rakim and KRS-One. You know, the usual legends. Right.
Okay. So your first single though, I was doing a little bit of research. So was your first single produced by Dr. Dre and Sir Jinx?
Yes, sir.
Is that how that went? Okay.
Yes, sir. What happened was me and Jinx used to be best friends. And this was the time Dre was actually living with Jinx. And we was working, man. We was working in Real Roxanne and Roxanne Shante. They had did a diss record, dissing JJ Fad, and Dre wanted me to write or help him write a diss record back. So once I helped write the diss record back, I was like, nah, I need a beat. You ain't got to pay me one of them beats, one of them slaps. You know what I'm saying? So he ended up producing on the record, man, and that's how that came out.
Damn. So you said you wrote a diss record for JJ Fad towards Salt and Pepper?
It was actually Real Roxanne. It was Roxanne Shante and the Real Roxanne.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I didn't write it all. I think I wrote half of it. And then Dre, I think Dre got somebody else to write the other half.
I didn't even know they had beef like that.
Yeah, actually it wasn't, man. Look, man, I went in, brother. I went in with them lyrics. They didn't want to touch her. They didn't want to touch him after that. You know what I'm saying? It was real quick. They said what they had to say. I wrote and said what I had to say, and it was over after that, man.
Was you around the time of the NWA inception? Did you see how they came together?
Oh yeah, right there in the middle.
That's what's up. Did you ever participate in the studio, work in the studio with them, or do anything like that with some music?
Well, actually, Dre and them a little bit older than us, like, cause me and Jinx was like the babies of the crew. So we were young, man. Like we was like 16, 17. While Dre then was 20 something. Said 21, 22 years old. So we didn't hang out like that. But when Dre needed to work on something at the house, I was there. When we was allowed, like when we got 18, we was allowed to go up to Donovan Studios. We hung out there. So yeah, we did our thing. We hung out.
That's what's up.
So I know you are one of the original members of the Lenchmob, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So how did that come about? Who is all the members of the Lenchmob, and what I'm saying, how did the Lenchmob all come together?
It was crazy, man. It was crazy how it happened because Q like after Q found out what he found out and he wanted to leave NWA, he really didn't have nobody. He was on his own, and he was real nervous about it, man. Like, damn, I'm leaving NWA. That means I'm great. And then he called Chuck D in New York, and I was actually at his mom's house when he made the call. Okay. And he told Chuck D the exact same thing. Like, man, I'm trying to get out the contract. Priority, like, nah, you gotta bring us something. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can't mess with Dre. Man, Chuck D was like, well, since you can't mess with the best producers on the West Coast, come mess with the best producers on the East Coast. And so, man, after that, man, we all packed our bags, man, and bounced to New York, bro, and got it done.
That's dope. Yeah. Damn. So you participated in America's Most Wanted.
Yeah, we all did. Not in a way where Jinx and Bomb Squad and DJ Pooh and all them did. We wasn't hands on like that, but yeah, we was in the studio, man, giving our input, what was tight, what was needed. Yeah, we definitely had a hand in it. The mob definitely had a hand in it.
For sure. Man, I remember that time when NWA Cube, and then when Cube left, and then we found out Cube was with the Lenchmob. And then when y'all dropped that CD, I ran and got it. Like I did everything associated with with that type of music. Anything that dropped out the West from about 88 to 92, 93, we was on it.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. That's what we was doing our thing. We was doing our shout out to Chili Chill too. I can't leave Chili Chill out of that story, man. Chili Chill was one of the founding fathers of the Lenchmob. So shout out to Chili Chill.
Okay, yeah. Like Supreme just said, man. I remember that time like it was yesterday, because Q was actually probably like my first favorite rapper. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, Lenchmob coming up with him and everything associated with Q, KD and Dub C, and you know what I mean, and everybody. You know what I'm saying? So. And I remember, man, I was probably like 13, 14 years old. I don't know if you was with them, but they came out here to Detroit for a celebrity basketball game. It was JD, it was T-Bone, it was the whole crew. It was KD. You know what I'm saying? I got a chance to meet everybody and everything, man. So I remember that time like it was yesterday, man. I was definitely one of my favorite, groups at that time for sure.
Appreciate it, man. Much love. Yeah, man, we was all over, man. I mean, that was one cool thing about the mob, man. People remember because we stayed on the road, man, and we actually touched our folks. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't on no stay in a hotel room till it's time to do. Man, we was everywhere, brother. We would touch down the city. We was going to the hoods. We was smoking on that smoke, man. So we was going to the hood, trying to find that good. We was going to the, every city got two malls, right? They got the hood mall, and we was like, always take us to the hood mall, homie.
Hey, I seen it firsthand, so I already know.
Yeah.
Hey, Dazzie Dee, man, I live down here in Dallas, Fort Worth, man, and one of our legends is the DOC.
Yes,
and the DOC, he was instrumental in a lot of the West Coast sound and lyrics coming up, man. Did you ever work with him, or did you meet him?
Yeah, man. Look, I got a funny story about Doc, man. I remember one time I went to his house, man, and he was like, Dazzie, man, I like how you rap. I like your how you put your rhymes together. He said, man, you know who you need to study? And I'm thinking he's gonna say KRS-One or something. Man, this dude was like, man, you need to study Sesame Street. I was like, what? He was like, man, look, homie, they been putting rhymes together. You wouldn't even, man, Doc Kirk on Sesame Street, homie. We watched Sesame Street for about 2 hours, homie, and I was amazed because they was on it, homie. I'm talking about they was rhyming some crazy ass words. He was like, see, there you go. So yeah, shout out to
yeah. DOC was using Sesame Street for the rhyme patterns.
Man, turn me on to Sesame Street. Grown ass man watching Sesame Street, homie.
But you know what? That goes to say, like, people draw inspiration from so many different places, though, and you will be surprised where people draw inspiration from, and that attests to the artistry in a person as well, where they able to look at something like Sesame Street and be able to use that and help them improve their craft, because the average person is looking at Sesame Street and they're not thinking about, oh, this is going to help me do what I need to do in order to improve my craft. You just pretty much looking like it's just a kid show and be done. But the fact that he was able to draw from that just goes to show that he's a true artist.
Yeah, incredible, man. DOC was incredible.
He one of them ones, man.
One of them ones, brother.
Hey, so let's go back to your first album real quick. You know what I'm saying? How would you describe your style? You know what I'm saying? Would you say that you G-Funk? You know what I'm saying? Is that something that you?
Yeah, I started. Oh well, actually, when I started out like some hip hop, you know, New York style type hip hop, and then you know the West Coast kind of cultivated that sound, that G-Funk sound. So I adapted to it, and I think I did pretty well with it. So yeah, the first album is definitely a G-Funk. Some people consider it a G-Funk classic or West Coast classic, whatever.
Yeah, I was about to say G-Funk classic.
Shout out to Battle Cat.
Ooh, that was Battle Cat. See, Battle Cat, one of my favorite producers, man. I actually got a chance to see him live DJing. You know what I'm saying? When I seen him DJing live, I was like, oh man, he's so out cold on the turntables, man. But
yeah, man, that's where he started, man.
Yeah,
that's where he started.
I remember. I remember your first album was in the Source, though. I remember your first album was in the Source, and they got 3 mics. I always wanted to ask somebody who got rated, you know what I'm saying, the Source, like how did you feel about that rating? Did you think it was too low? Was you pissed off?
Yeah, it was some haterisms going on. You know what I'm saying? It was some haterism, but you know, that was at the time when damn near every writer from the Source was from New York. So, you know, they was biased. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it took, you know, it took a lot, or it took a very special relationship for them to give you something past 3 mics. You know what I'm saying? Because damn near at that time, damn near everybody that was coming from the West outside of Cuba then was getting 3 mics. So we knew what it was.
Man, I was this shit crazy. I was going back watching some videos, right? And on the video, about everybody want to be a gangster. You know what I'm saying? With the beginning of the video with the little boy watching the TV, it's so profound and prophetic now. Like that's the whole formula on how they fucking everybody up, man. The youth is tuned in to the internet, man, and it's a how to be a stupid motherfucker kit on it all day long. And they just like, okay, I gotta do that. I gotta talk like that. I got word like that. So yeah, man, that was a prophetic video, brother. Yeah. Back then.
I appreciate it. I appreciate shout out to my boy Ricky Harris. Ricky Harris, rest in peace. Yeah, he directed.
Yeah, man, rest in peace, Ricky Harris, man.
Yeah, rest in peace, Ricky Harris, and rest in peace, AJ Johnson.
AJ,
yeah. He was in there too at the beginning. I don't know if you was one of the first ones to have him in your video, but that was way early on. Yeah. You know
I did.
I might have been one of the first ones, but
yeah. His relationship with Ricky Harris, you know, all the comedians hung out at that time, man. So we was able to make it happen.
Hey, so let's talk about your relationship with Ice Cube real quick. You know what I'm saying? Did you continue working with Ice Cube after, you know what I mean, the Lenchmob kind of, you know what I mean, everything happened with the Lenchmob with, you know, JD going away and, you know what I mean, shit like that? Did you?
Actually, you know what? I left. I was actually the first artist to leave the camp.
Okay.
But it was no love loss. I just kind of saw a direction they was going that I wasn't trying to go. So, you know, me and Cube sat down and we chopped it. And, you know, as a going away gift, he actually blessed the record. You know what I'm saying? Because at that time he was so hot and popping, man.
Right.
He wasn't doing no features. I think at that time the only feature he had done was with Scarface. So, to show that it wasn't no love loss, he paid for the studio time, man. Like, come on in, let's knock out this song for your album. I said, man, let's go.
Okay. Hell yeah, that's what's up. Hey, so what you think about all the Cube controversy right now, man? Because you see, he kind of, you know what I mean? He spoke about the gatekeepers and shit like that, man. Like, have he always been like outspoken like that? You know what I'm saying? Like a rebel, and you know what I'm saying? Shit like that.
Always, man. Always, he always been like that, man. I think that's why Chuck D and so many cats and even Farrakhan and them kind of gravitated towards him, man, because he's always had that mouthpiece like that, man.
So what do you think about as far as the backlash that he's been receiving in the media with the big three versus the NBA? Do you think that that's something that he should be standing on, or is it something? Do you think that maybe he's probably being a little bit sensitive about the whole situation because he's trying to get the media attention as the NBA, or do you actually think it's really something going on in the background that's stopping him? Because it seems like he's being very successful with it.
Yeah, well, the thing with it is, Cube not gonna really open his mouth unless you try to eat off his plate, and that was the whole thing. Cube whole thing with that is, let me do my thing. Like, I'm not even trying to dip off into the NBA money. I'm not trying to tamper with no players. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here dealing with, doing my thing. And, the NBA been like trying to low key backdoor him and shut him down and trying to cut off some of his pipeline as far as his money goes. So he had to speak on that. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't call him sensitive about it. I think he just like he tired. He tired. And he like, okay, let me speak on this. But it just goes to show that the NBA kind of sees some greatness going on because, if y'all remember the very first couple years of his league, it was like older cats, you know what I'm saying? Like, older cats. But like this season, you got younger cats, you know what I'm saying? Maybe 1 or 2 years fresh out the league. They want to come get out. So I think the NBA see the bigness of it and how great it can be. And they just low key hate.
Yeah, because I think I wasn't really understanding like how the two are even connected for it to be a competitive nature, because the big three is for people who are no longer in the NBA anyway. So I want both. They don't really have anything to do with each other for real. Exactly. So that's the reason why I was like, okay, what's really going on with that? But also, Cube said that Ice Cube said that No Vaseline was better than Hit 'Em Up because Tupac needed help on Hit 'Em Up. He had to have the Outlaws on Hit 'Em Up, whereas on No Vaseline, it was a one-man show, stumping the whole crew. Yeah. Which one do you feel is the better one? Is it Hit 'Em Up?
Nah, I got to give it to No Vaseline. I got only reason I got to give it to No Vaseline because it was more personal. You know what I'm saying? It came from a family member. You know what I'm saying? You know how somebody can on the street can cuss you out, but your mama cuss you out and sting a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what it was. He just got way personal with it, man. I think Hit 'Em Up was more like for shock value. You know what I'm saying? Pac said some outlandish stuff, man, that wasn't really said. So that's what made Hit 'Em Up shine. But Q hit him where it hurt, man, because he hit him with the truth.
Yeah, they're both they're both very dope records. And I'm gonna tell you what's so funny is the fact that you could tell how much love and respect you got in, how people actually see that record. Because usually if somebody would have came out and put some whatever they diss track is, and it's actually the person saying it versus the people, like Cube is saying no Vaseline is better than Hit 'Em Up. Yeah. So usually like they would drag that person for fifth because it's like you talking about your record versus a Pac record, right?
Right.
So that lets you know, like even with that, it didn't go too far because at the end of the day, it's a toss up. No Vaseline is undeniable. Probably. You know what I'm saying? hit them up, undeniable. So it's a toss up. It could go either which way. So
it really
I
can.
thought that
really
was pretty dope that he had the nuts and balls to come out and just say it. Yeah.
Man, I was checking out your bio and I was reading about the Crip background, right?
Yes,
is that true? And to add to that question, in my city, we received like one of the first migrations of the Crips and Bloods, in like the late 80s, mid to late 80s. You know what I'm saying? How do you feel about LA Bloods and Crips that spread out throughout the world? Used to be just the country, but now the world. How you feel about that, man? How you see that?
I mean, well, the main reason, they made that spread because it was all about that paper, right? Once we found out, how effective that cocaine, that crack game was, man, we figured out, to go on and try to spread out and make that happen. So that's really how it happened. It never was let's just go turn some guys into some Crips in a whole nother state. That wasn't their intention. So yeah, but that's how it started, man. And it just got crazy after that. It got real crazy, man.
Hey, speaking of, what I mean, the gang politics and everything like that. I know you done worked with both sides. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
all sides.
Yes, sir.
So has it got tricky for you, or is it tricky? You know what I'm saying? Working with all sides as far as the gang politics in LA, Compton, Long Beach, all that shit.
Nah, man. You know what? Because here's the thing, man. Before gangbanging kind of really got into the music game out here, man. It was just about the music, right? You didn't really care, man. You didn't care, if a cat was a Blood or a Crip or whatever. If he made good music, you rocked with him. So I'm from that era, man. I didn't really trip off none of that. You know what I'm saying? And even with the DJ Quick and MC8 beef, you know what I'm saying? I had a hand in that. You know what I'm saying? As far as trying to get them to squash all that. You feel me? I always valued it, man. I really didn't really treat, unless you was kind of a disrespectful cat, then we would have problems. But if you wasn't and you was just on your music, man, you can't help where your mama bought her house or where she could afford to stay. So I was never mad at that.
Hey, speaking of, because you just brought up DJ Quick, and I was watching one of your interviews, man. I never knew that you also produced on that Mausberg record. And you actually brought out Mausberg. I always thought that was DJ Quick. I think most people thought that was DJ Quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most people. That actually, Mausberg, man, recipes. That was my artist. That was my artist. Right. And I turned him on. Well, actually, what happened was he was Tony Lane, my big bro Tony Lane's artist, and before he wanted to introduce him to Quick, he was so raw. Mausberg was so raw, man. Like, he was just one of them dudes that just wanted to rap. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know how to write verses as far as 16-bar verse. He didn't know how to do. He just rapped. He was a cold ass rapper. So, Tone turned me on to him, man. And me and Mausberg worked together for about a year before I said it was okay for him to introduce him to DJ Quick, man. And once them dudes got together, though, Mausberg was ready. And the rest is history, man.
Damn. R.I.P. Mausberg. Yeah, that was some legendary shit, though. You know what I'm saying? He was only here for a minute, but that whole album, that Connected project with Suga Free. Go ahead and speak on working with Suga Free, because that's one of my favorite rappers too, man. I know he's a character and everything, man. So how is it working with Suga Free?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that either. Me, outside of same thing with Mausberg, I did with Suga Free. Like the first, not the first album, but the next two albums. Me and Quick produced those half and half.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Free a character, man. Free a good ass dude. But he's really he's a character, man. That dude, sometimes I used to hate having to conversate with him because he'd just be on one, man, and I just wouldn't have time for it, man. I love him, you know what I'm saying? Like he would just come in my room, man, and just talk about man. I remember one time we was in the studio, man. He had a couple girls, and then one of his girls did something foul, man. We in the studio. I'm trying to make a beat. He got the little broad sitting in the corner holding big ass cans of baked beans. You know what I'm saying? Struggling like a motherfucker, man. I'm over there looking at the side of my. I'm like, I can't work like this, man.
So he had her like she that was her punishment. She had to hold up the baked beans.
Yeah, you know how you make a child hold a book.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have no book, so he made the engineer go buy some baked beans, the big ass cans of baked beans.
Man,
well, you know what? I was surprised when Suga Free had got married. You know,
everybody was. Everybody was.
Yeah, that was surprising.
Yeah, that shit shocked everybody.
I think LA man had like 2 early phases as far as hip hop, right? Like the Ice-T, NWA, Lenchmob, you know, that era. And then here come the Death Row, Pac, Snoop, and all them, right? And then Pac get killed. Was it fun making music during that time, man? Was the tension heightened in LA doing the Death Row shit, man, with all the different factions and people getting killed and all the stories and shit?
Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was a crazy time, man, because really, truthfully, Suge and them really was the first ones to bring the hood shit to the music shit, man. Like for real. You know, you were going to the studio with them, man. They slap boxing and shit. And, you know what I'm saying? Is you know, people got them things on them. You know what I'm saying? It was just like it was a lot, man. But yeah, you know, it was a lot. But I saw an interview with my bro Corrupt, and Corrupt said the same thing. Like, man, you got to be, you know, you have to be cold to deal with them cats. You had to constantly stay in that mind state, but still be able to get on that mic and do what you do. So it was crazy. That was a crazy time, man.
So, well, you know, speaking of Death Row and speaking of Pac and everything, I know you got a special Tupac story. You know what I'm saying? You want to go ahead and break that story down, man, about the riots and you know what I'm saying, Tupac.
Man. That, you know, a lot of people don't know, man. Like right around that time, me and Pac was best friends, man. So me and Pac hung out a lot, man, damn near every day. Damn. During the riots, man. The riots had jumped off, and Pac was in the studio, and me and Jinx called him like, "Nah, it's going down out here, homie. You might want to stop." And Pac was with it, man. We went and got Pac. And man, we was terrorizing the city like everybody else. They wasn't gonna leave us out. You know what I'm saying? And man, I remember this one story, man. This one time we was at this liquor store, and the gates. You know how they rack the gates on the liquor store so you can't break in them. Right. And Pac like moved them, like, man, move out the way. Pulled out that thing, man. Shot the lock off. And they was like, thanks, homie, thanks. They looked back and saw it was Pac. They was like, are you Tupac? Pac was like, man, I ain't worried about that shit tonight. Don't worry about that shit tonight either. Do what you do. Man, that's probably the happiest I ever seen Pac, homie, was that night.
Wow.
Yeah, because it was going down. It was the revolution. That's what he was all about. You know what I'm saying?
You feel real talk, man.
Yeah, he was dead smack center in it. But
he had been waiting on
that's
that.
What's up.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, because we always heard about
just in the studio just talking.
Yeah, we always heard about, you know what I'm saying? We always heard about Tupac at the riots too, and how he was right in the mix, you know what I'm saying, getting down with everybody. You know
yeah, man, he was right there, man. He was right. Actually, he one of the reasons me and my mom got into it that night. Rest in peace, man. We came back to the house, she cussing at us and shit, talk about we dumb, the police gonna kill all of us, or we gonna be in jail. Pac handed my mom a big ass box of Tide that he took from the stove. And my mom was like, "Oh, thank you, baby." I was like, "Oh, mom, you the ops. You just cussed the nigga out. Now you think Pac for some Tide?"
Mama say, "Hold up, now. I understand. Now we work this out a little bit."
Yeah. You finna watch Plenty of Clothes with that there.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because it was two people are the reason why I fell in love with hip hop. One is LL Cool J, and another is MC Hammer. Did you ever work with MC Hammer?
You know what? I've never worked with Hammer, but I've toured with Hammer because you know I used to be Suga Free hype man. So for about maybe 3 years, we toured together, and let me tell you, that brother turned out every damn show.
Well, you already know.
I
he was a performer. He was
a performer, but what from me, checking his background and everything, because he was such a performer, and people didn't know, like, MC Hammer was a pretty tough guy, and a lot of people didn't know that. Yeah, they thought he was just old friendly dancing cat.
Yeah, but see that was the weird thing though. That's what made it so crazy to me because we talking about MC Hammer, right? So we talking about selling out arenas. You feel me? We talking about that crossover crowd. You know what I'm saying? But nah, man, he was doing hood shows with us. You know what I'm saying? Motorcycle clubs and hood shit, man. Every night they was tearing that motherfucker up.
Yes, indeed. Let me ask you this, because you spoke about how back in the day, Suge them in the studio, how they brought that street culture into the music business, right? And we see a lot of that today, where it's hard to separate the difference between the streets and the music. A lot of people, they can't even do business. They feel like they can't do business with certain people because of things that has absolutely nothing to do with the business. It's something that maybe the cat did in the street, or they feel like they can't work with the person, even though they have no association with what this person got going on in the street. Like, for example, right now, people are dragging Kodak Black for working with 6ix9ine because 6ix9ine snitched in his case that had absolutely nothing to do with Kodak Black. So do you think, because with you being in an environment where you've seen it, firsthand, how the streets end up getting tied into the business or whatever, do you think that bringing the street culture into the music, do you think that has hurt a lot of people's careers and kept them from being able to be bigger than what they ended up being because they were too focused on what's going on in the streets versus just focusing on the business?
Yeah, I think meshing the two was probably the worst thing that happened in hip hop. I really do. I mean, because don't get it wrong. Damn near every cat that grew up in the music game was a real nigga, right? Like a real street dude. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be a gangbanger to be a street dude, right? Half these dudes, like even Smokey Robinson. I got a funny ass story about Smokey Robinson where, I'm in the studio with Smokey and he working on a cold ass. It was kind of like Being With You, that type of vibe. It was just a beautiful ass song. And I was like, man, this song dope. And Smokey turned around to me and said, yeah, Dazzie, the bitches gonna love this. You know what I'm saying? So you could be street and not intertwine the two. You know what I'm saying? You never talk like that. You see what I'm saying? But them actually bringing it to the forefront and actually bringing it to the music, it messed up a lot of things. It just didn't mess up business. It messed up a lot of people's lives. It took a lot of lives,
Hey, brother Dazzie, man, name your top 5 favorite West Coast MCs of all time.
Top 5. Okay, I can't do it in no order because I got to think fast, brother.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'll get to trip. Cube, King T, Deadly Threat. Them is my old school artists, and then if I want to kind of keep it, I'll probably say Crooked Eye. And probably Kendrick.
Okay. Hey man, you don't work with so many people, man, over the years. Is there anybody that you haven't worked with yet that you would like to work with, or a couple people?
You know what? Actually, my dream songs, my features have been coming. I've been blessed, man. They've been coming true for the past couple projects, man. Like I just did a song. I did a song last summer with the Alcoholics. That shit came out so dope. And then I got a remix to my first single off the new album with Crooked Eye and Razzcast. So yeah, man, I'm blessed, man. I all the features I've really been wanting to do, I've been able to knock them out, man.
That's what's up. Do you got a favorite person that you like to work with? Like, you know what I'm saying? A favorite rap, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, not really, man. I mean, everybody brings something different to the table. I enjoy the whole experience, man. Like, probably one of my top, but because I don't really have a favorite, but one of my top might be Suga Free, man, just to see how he works. His work ethic is incredible, man.
Man, that'd be great.
Yeah, he's such a professional, man, and he's so dope, and he can reach back and grab something, man, from something you wouldn't even pay. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
he'll hit you with a little line and be like, hey, you know where that came from? Be like, nah. I'd be like, man, yeah, that was the Ohio players. When they, you know, he just that type of dude, man.
I can tell. Yeah. I can tell. I mean, shit, the motherfucker rap like that. You know what I'm saying? He be rapping like he talk. You know what I'm saying? So I can tell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey, did you ever get a chance to work with Nipsey? You know what I'm saying? Before
I didn't never get a chance to work with Nip. Rest in peace, neighborhood Nip, man. Nah, but actually I met him a few times and he was a cool dude, man. I can see why, you know, everybody fell in love with him when they met him, man. He was a good dude, man.
Man, what do you think about the certain rappers getting robbed and killed when they come to LA, man? Like when Ice-T issued a warning, was like, man, you gotta know where you're at, know what you're doing, and then you get people like Pop Smoke, and he got robbed and murdered, and I forgot the PNB.
Yeah, PNB robbed.
Yeah, man. How you feel about that, man?
I mean, man, you know, LA, man, you got, it's two things you just gotta do when you come to LA. You gotta know somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's number one. And number two, you can't come out here flossing, man. You just can't. You know what I'm saying? There's too many vultures out here, man. There's too many, you know, that really don't got it. And you know, you can't come to the pits, man. You can't come down to the depths of hell, man, with some water. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, every soul in that hell gonna want some of that water. You feel me? So it's the same thing out here, man. You know, you can stay in LA and be kind of safe if you know somebody, but I guarantee you can't come down here to this concrete jungle though and floss. You just can't do it, man.
Yeah.
And that's probably any damn where. You feel me?
Yeah, for sure.
That's reckless behavior anyway. You know.
Yeah.
You going around people that's starving while you eating.
Yeah.
And that you end up in a sticky situation that you may not be able to live from. So
yeah,
it's just unfortunate that things are like that. But I think that like you said, most inner cities are pretty much like that anyway. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where you gotta make sure you moving right and not leaving yourself wide open.
Yeah,
real talk.
For sure.
Real talk.
For sure. Hey, and speaking about LA, you know what I'm saying, just taking it back for a second, because you know, I was just thinking, man, that NWA tree, man, is so, it branch off so wide and everything, man, with, you know, with Dre and Cube and, you know what I'm saying, and Jinx and just everybody now, above the law, you know what I'm saying? But they really blew up when Straight Outta Compton really took off, you know what I'm saying? So what was the environment like in LA around that time to kind of where it kind of created that whole fuck the police, you know what I'm saying, Straight Outta Compton vibe, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, actually during that time, man, we was actually still trying to find our place. You know what I'm saying? LA we didn't have a sound, so you know, a lot of rappers was kind of leaning on that East Coast sound. You know, either that or that electro sound, you know, that fast Egyptian lover type sound. So it was either or. So when King Teeth came out, and then Ice-T came out, and then NWA came out, we saw that we actually had a sound, and it went from there, man.
Yeah. Because it was crazy, because that shit spread all over the world. You know, I mean, everybody was feeling that. Everybody was feeling fuck the police. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna go listen to some King T tonight, man. It's been a minute.
Hey, do yourself a favor. Go on and, man, bless yourself. I just did the same thing, brother, like 2 nights ago. I turned on that Trifling album, man. I was rolling. I was dipping, though.
Man, hey, I was just listening to Sir Jinx last night. I'm
gonna be a little messy real quick. Wasn't it King T the one that people were saying that Biggie stole his style from?
Yeah, what you think about that, Dazzie? What you think about it?
Yeah, well, actually, you know what? Actually, I don't know about that, but I know when King T first came out, man, because I used to hang with Tila a lot, and just to see Biggie rapping, Biggie used to say how much he loved him. He said he was his favorite rapper, and you know who else was used to say that too was Big Daddy Kane. Big Daddy Kane used to say it all the time in interviews, like they used to ask me. He used to be like King T.
So do you think he got a style from King T? I mean, can you hear it? Can you hear it?
I think he probably borrowed a little some of it. You know what I'm saying? Because Biggie don't really got an East Coast vibe, right? Like he don't got that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he got like a swag to him. You could tell he leaned on us a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, go ahead, Pray.
How did you feel about the East Coast West Coast shit, man? Cause you seem like, man, you go everywhere. You love all types of hip hop. And then when that shit started happening, motherfuckers choosing sides and shit, man. Where was you at with it, man?
I hated it, man. I hated it because, like you said, I loved it all, man. I mean, I think what happened was, the East kind of didn't want to let go of that crown. You know what I'm saying? And once the West started popping, the East Coast started feeling some type of way because actually they the one that kind of started it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we used to hear little shit. Yeah, we used to hear little songs and shit and little lines and, and we just be like, damn, like that. You know what I'm saying? And then, once we start hearing that shit, then that's when the hood shit from LA came out of us. Like, nah, you ain't finna punk us like that. You know what I'm saying? We got something to say too.
I don't mean to cut you off, but man, that's a hell of a point, man, that I've always thought about. The reason why the East Coast lost that battle against the West Coast because they didn't understand the LA aggression. Exactly. They didn't understand, like in LA, you set trip. And when you set trip, you call that motherfucker's name and you ride hard. Man, East Coast, they underestimated that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why they kick subliminal shit. Oh, he could be talking about this nigga, he could be talking about that. And LA like, nah, nigga, fuck you, Tim Dog. You know what I'm saying? That's why they lost that shit, man. They wasn't ready.
Real talk, man. Real talk, brother.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So, something that came out recently too, the whole argument that Tony Yayo brought up, you know what I'm saying, about Ice Cube versus Biggie as far as the storytelling. You know what I'm saying? Overall, he was saying, which one was the best MC, but the conversation kind of started as which one was the best storyteller. You being around for both and hearing both and everything like that. What's your opinion on that argument?
I mean, I think I had heard something from Chuck D, and he said the same thing, man. He was like, it's regional based. You know what I'm saying? If you're from the East Coast, you're probably gonna ride with Biggie a little bit more. But right. I think overall, as far as a rap style, rap gold, lyrics and wordplay, I think Biggie probably was better with that. But as far as just if we want to strip it down and just stay on point and say storytelling, nah, I don't think he could see Cube, man. A lot of cats couldn't see Cube with storytelling. That dude was just amazing, man.
Hell yeah.
Because Biggie does not have Today Was a Good Day in his catalog. He does not have anything that he could play in a verses that's gonna win against that song. Like
exactly.
I think Summer Vacation is the greatest hip hop story of all time.
That's what I'm saying, brother. Summer Vacation. That whole Death Certificate album was a story. That, you know what I'm saying, from life to death back to rebirth. You know what I'm saying? It was one big ass story, man. And yeah, you can't compete against that, man.
Hey, so is it any current West Coast artists that you like? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like Simba. I like Simba's dope. I like LaRussell. LaRussell dope. Kendrick. I like Kendrick. We got a couple young brothers. Player Ham. I don't know if y'all remember Player Ham.
Yeah, for sure.
He used to be with DJ Quick. Yeah, he got two sons that's so cold right now. They call it the LA Giants. So yeah, I'm feeling brothers like that. My little homie Problem, my little homie Glasses Malone. Shout out to them. Yes, it's a couple cats out here I'm digging, man.
Yeah, LA stayed hot, man. I mean, I don't think LA ever fell off. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of regions that kind of came and kind of fell off.
We didn't. I think we got a little complacent. I think we got a little complacent. I think we got a little too comfortable. You know what I'm saying? That we stopped pushing the envelope as far as the music thing went. We was kind of, once we kind of knew what a formula was, we kind of stuck to it. But I think it was time to at least try to push those boundaries, man, push those limits.
Yeah. But there has always been that presence, though. It was always that presence, though. So that's the good thing. But you got some cities that You know, they just come and go, and they don't really, they haven't just made an imprint for real. LA has definitely made an imprint on hip hop culture for real.
You know who I fuck with real heavy?
Who's that?
Real heavy. Rest in peace, man. The Draco the Ruler.
Oh man.
Yeah, Draco, man. Draco man, doing his thing.
I fuck with Draco, man. Real heavy, man.
R.I.P. Draco
doing his thing, man. Slim 400 was doing his thing.
Yeah,
Rest
Slim
in
400
peace.
too.
Yeah, them cats were doing their thing, man. Shout out to my little homie Dal Poeta too. Dal Poeta, cold motherfucker too on that mic.
Who was that? I gotta look him up.
My little homie Dal Poeta.
I'm gonna have to check him out. I'm gonna have to check him out. Yeah. Yeah, man. So you know what I'm saying, before we start wrapping this shit up, man. Is there any stories, man? You got any crazy stories from them times, man, from them Lenchmob days, man, that you can give us? Any kind of exclusives, man? Any, you know what I'm saying?
I got so many damn stories. I have to come back to the show, brother, for that. I got so many damn stories, man. But yeah, you know, just man, I was just blessed, man. I was blessed. Like one story I'll tell, and they, you know, Dre hate me for this shit. It ain't a Lenchmob story, but it's, you know, it's all the same family, right?
Yeah,
man. I remember when Dre won one time, man. We was at Jinx house, man, and Dre and them. This when they was with this when they still had world class record. Yella must have came in there, man. They had on biker shorts for the show. They was wearing biker shorts, and that nigga brought a big ass pack of hot links, man. Them niggas shoved hot links in they damn biker shorts, man. He was like, nah, that ain't the business. You know, we was 14, 15. He was like, nah, that shit ain't the business.
Oh man, Dre and Jinx.
So man, what you doing these days, man? Tell us what's going on with the music, man. You got any endeavors outside of music, man? Let the people know what you're doing, how to find you, man.
Yeah, I'm blessed right now, man. The new album just dropped, Westcoast BoomSlap, produced by me and my homeboy Slag Dog, man. That album just dropped, like I said, about a month ago. First single is called Different. Second single, we just shot the video for that last Sunday. It's called Real One. So I just dropped this album. I'm feeling good, man. The podcast with JD. Shout out to Mr. Ed, man. Shout out to all my folks, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Nida. You feel me? We got a few things going, man. I'm doing this video thing too. I don't know if y'all hip to Soren Baker. He's real influential in hip hop, period, man. He used to write for The Source, LA Times,
MTV.
He just wrote a autobiography for Juicy J. We got a full-length movie coming up. Me as the star, man, and a few of my partners in the movie. So yeah, I'm working, man. I'm blessed, brother.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something, man. As far as the hip hop game and everything like that, man, I always believe that one of the testaments of your career and everything like that is the respect of your peers, man. And always saying that you always had that respect. Everybody, you know what I'm saying, you work with a whole lot of people. I ain't never heard nobody say nothing bad about you, man. So shout out to you in your career, man. And hey, thank you for coming on and joining us, man.
Man, I appreciate y'all, man. Like I say, have a brother back, man. I got some stories for your ass, man. I got some stories, brother.
Definitely, we'll love to have you. Yeah, what was the name again? What was the name of your podcast again?
It's actually my brother JD. It's called JD Presents Behind the Bars.
JD from the Lenchmob, right?
Yeah, JD from the Lenchmob presents Behind the Bars.
Is there a scheduled time or it's just impromptu?
Yeah, every Wednesday, 7:30 Pacific Standard Time, 7:30 every Wednesday. You know, we gonna try to do what we do. The first guest was Cocaine. This week we got a actual my big bro Dazzie Dee. He's actually we call him a West Coast founder. He's a fond like the West Coast hip hop founder. He's he's actually the one that set up Darlene Ice-T's wife. He set them up together. That's how long he's been in the game. So
we need to get him on the show. I got some questions for him.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hey, people will be surprised when they talk about the origins of hip hop. Yeah, they got something to say about that shit, man.
Oh man, look, man, we not that far behind. We not that far behind as people think, man. When it comes to that, this hip hop shit. New York had about a good 10-year run on us, man. Because they the foundation. But once we figured it out, man, and certain cats started coming from New York to LA, and LA cats going to New York, man, we figured that shit out real quick. So yeah, we've been around for a minute, brother.
That's what's up, man. Hey, keep on pushing, man. We definitely gonna stay tuned in. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We'd love to have you back, man. Anytime, man. Just let us know when you're dropping something or you got a new project or whatever, man. We'd love to have you back, man.
Let's get it. Westcoast BoomSlap out right now. You feel me? Going to get a bar of that, man. They trying to tell me it's probably one of the best records from the West Coast this year. So I'll let y'all be the judge.
Okay.
I've been fucking with it.
I'm gonna let you know.
I've been fucking with
Yeah,
it.
hit me up
It's
and
fire.
let me know, brother.
It's fire. It's fire for sure. I've been fucking with it.
All right.
Yes, indeed. And we want to thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the Hip Hop School Past and Present podcast. Make sure y'all like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We're about to tune out. Y'all have a good one.
The Hip Hop School Past and Present podcast.